Okay, so this is the TradingView tutorial for the first episode of Learn2Trade. So TradingView is the platform that I and the majority of people use to see the charts, read the charts, edit, draw any sort of price action you want to see, anything like that, you use this. The reason why most people, including myself, choose to use this as opposed to like a MetaTrader or essentially a where you actually place your trades is because the features on here are better. There's better customization options, um, and also you have just multiple features that make it easier to read price better and clearer. So all you have to do is sign up for a free account. It's completely free if you just get the basic version. And now we will go to the S&P. So just click on whatever thing you want, and then we'll click on the chart, and it will load up the chart in a minute. Okay, so we won't start the S&P because it's quite a weird chart, as you can see. We'll go for, we'll start off here. So this is my search bar. This is where I can basically search for anything I want to trade. So as you can see, I've got the S&P 500 here. If I go out, this is all the recent things I've looked at. So you can see it's a long list. And you can see here you've got stocks, you've got crypto, you've got futures, you've got forex. You've got everything here. You can see you can trade anything in the world. You can have a look at the chart and see a couple of things such as futures. To get the live charts, you have to pay a certain fee extra, but with the way I'm teaching, I don't currently trade futures, so that would be not required for me, and if you're learning to trade in the same way that I do. Okay, so we'll make it easy. We will go for a GBP USD chart. So actually, firstly, before I go into this, so if you see here, it says GBP USD, and there's Forex, and it says Oanda. So this is obviously saying it's a Forex, and the Oanda refers to the stockbroker where that has this specific chart, and they only have, so if I search GBP USD, you can see here there's lots of brokers, right, up to here, and these are all different brokers. Some you will have heard of, some you won't have heard of, and essentially when looking at price, you want to have price to have the closest equal price to your whatever platform you're trading on, whether it be MetaTrader, DXTrade, TradeLocker, whatever it is. So let's say I was trading on, I'll say IC Markets, because I know IC Markets is now on thing. Okay, that doesn't work then. So let's say I was trading on whatever. Let's say I'm trading on whatever I want, and we go on F6XM. You can see here I've got 1.27695, and then if we go to 8 cap, oh sorry, that's me being an idiot. GBPUSD. I don't know. We'll go Pepperstone 96. You see here it's a little different, and it will be a little different as you go across. I don't know if you find another one. Oh, that's 8 cap again, or 687. Like, they're clearly all different. It's important you get the right chart. So we will go on the 8 cap chart. So we'll go through every single thing. So at the top here, this is comparing symbol. So this could be used for SMT. I've never used this before. I don't think it's very useful. And here we go. So this is our time frames. So let's say, so these stars are what appears at the top. It's usually 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. This is what I'd recommend someone to have. I don't think anything else is necessary apart from this. If you wanted to have a month, maybe, but I don't think you'll be trading within that time frame. So if I was to go to 1 week, so if you'd see this candle here, oh no, not this candle, because this candle is currently in progress. As you can see here, 2 days, 11 hours to go until that candle closes. So this candle here, this represents 1 week of price action. So in 1 week, that is where price moved. I'll go through how to read a candlestick in the next video. And then we can go to the day, we can go to 4 hour, we can go to 1 hour, and it scrolls all the way down. And that's how you get there. And this is your type of candlestick. It's not relevant, you will only ever want to use candles. There is no reason to use anything other than candles, unless you've learned from baby pips, which I would not recommend. They will try and tell you all sorts of weird things. Indicators. Again, I don't trade with indicators, but you will see a lot of people online trading with them. So as you can see here, these are my favorites. You have personal ones where you write your own indicator. That's obviously quite techy. You got these are general indicators. You can see loads and loads of different things, loads of things, and they overlay onto the chart. So if I have a moving average exponential, this is a moving average of price. So you can see here, this blue line, and it overlays onto my chart. But again, that's not something to be useful. Alerts are great. So let's say I was looking at a trade. I was waiting for price to reach this candle, and then once it reached this candle, I was going to do something. Or I was just going to start looking at it. So I can press here, I can add alert, or I can press on the right clicker and then add alert like that. So that's really useful because obviously you can't be on the charts 24/7. So setting alerts for when price is at your POI, your area of interest. Obviously we have this back button and forward button to, like, let's say you've done a drawing that you didn't like, you can get rid of it like that, or if you accidentally deleted something, you can get it back again. And now we'll quickly go through these things on the right, and then we'll go through all the drawing tools and how to use them. So you can see here, this is my red list. So this red list is made up from my favorited things. You can see the NASDAQ, GBP USD, GBP JPY, USD CAD. These are the things that I trade, and so that's on my favorites list. And then if we click down here, you have alerts. So you can see I have alerts for GBP JPY and 2 for gold. And then this is everything you've drawn. So if I was to click here on the trend line, you can see I've drawn a trend line here. Obviously you can't see it, but there, and this is just the candlesticks. And then these 3 or 4 things are not something you'll ever use. And now if we go to settings, this is where you can change the color of your candlesticks. So I can go black, I can go yellow, I can do whatever I want, right? And you can do that for the borders and the wicks as well. You can choose your time zone. So if you want to be, I have mine in New York, despite living in the UK, as the majority of things you'll see online are based on New York time, and obviously you can just convert it very quickly. But I find I like trading on the New York time. It just, I don't know, it's just a weird thing that I like. But that's completely up to you. You have precision in terms of how precise you want charts to be. Obviously, it depends on the brokerage you're with. With your status lines, you have all of these things. You have OHLC values, which are these up here, which is the open, high, low, and close. We'll describe what they are in the next video. You have volume. You can have where volume would be how much has the chart actually moved, from the high to the low in that specific candle. Scales and lines, you can have all of this. This is all preference. This is nothing I actually change. You can choose the background. This is important. So if you want to have a white background, obviously this is a gradient, but if you want to have a white background, you could. You have whatever thing you want. I'd just say keep it simple. There's no need to make it crazy. You can have a watermark if you want to. That's convention for some. Obviously change your scales. You can do whatever you like. And this isn't something you will likely ever use. So we'll go through the drawing tools. So this is my cross. You can have it as a dot or an arrow, whatever you fancy. I have a cross because it's just the default and I never changed it. And now we have the most important tool, a trend line. So this, let's say I wanted to mark out, I don't know, these highs. I could draw them out like that. It's just versatile. It's just a line. The tips for the trend line is, obviously I want to try and get it in an exact straight line, but it's quite hard to do, and this might not be an exact straight line. So if I'm holding it and then I hold shift, bang, I am now in an exact straight line, and this works for, and I'm still holding shift, go to 45 degrees, or I can go to 90 degrees. And up and down, it just locks to whatever 45-degree angle is closest, which is nice when you're trying to draw exact lines. And let's say, actually I can go through that later. So next we have rays and info lines and extended lines. I wouldn't ever really use any of these. If you didn't like using trend lines, you could use a horizontal line, which let's say I've placed it on here. It goes forever left and forever right. Alternatively, you can use a horizontal ray, which will only go to the right. You can't see it because it's black. There you go. And then you have vertical line, exactly what you think it is. Again, it's black, but there. Again, these things aren't really, you don't ever really need to use them, as you'll have a trend line. So if I wanted to exactly straight line, I could do that. Or I could, if I wanted to have a ray, I could do it like this. There's no reason for, well, it's rare to ever want to use anything other than that. You have parallel channels if you want to. Again, this is more for support and resistance training, but if I was wanting to do it, I could draw it out. So let's say I'm going here, this is my little channel, add it like that, and that's my parallel channels. Again, it's for support and resistance training, and so I wouldn't ever recommend using that. I don't know why I have it starred. Fibonacci retracement. Fibonacci retracement is great. So this is something that I'll actually explain what it actually means later, but let's say I went from here to here. Again, everything is in black because I recently changed my charts. So Fibonacci retracement is a retracement tool that I will go through in another video, but that's how to get it. We then have all of these, which I wouldn't ever use. A GAN box is essentially a Fibonacci retracement, so there's no reason to use both. Patterns, these are all patterns that I just don't use. They're not the way that I want to teach how to trade. Again, I'll explain that in a future video, but they're not the way that I trade. So they're not something that I will ever use or in the foreseeable future. So this is how next is the long positions. This is how I show what position I'm in. Obviously, this isn't actually how I enter positions. I enter positions on the other application. But this is how I present my positions. So let's say I wanted to enter a buy position. We'll do it right at the bottom, so it's a really good trade. We entered here. Okay. I changed this to white. Okay, so as you can see, we have a line in the middle. That is where I have bought or sold. Obviously, this is a buy position because the blue is at the top and because I clicked buy. So this is my entry. This box down here, this is my stop loss. So if price was to hit this line, I'd be my stop loss would be hit, which is essentially my automatic exit position. So at that point, I have lost the trade and my position is automatically exited. Because if I did not have a stop loss, let's say I just didn't, price could just end up going forever down here, and because when you're trading forex, you are leverage trading. You can lose a lot of money because let's say in this position, if my entered here, I'm at the risk $5 US. So that means that if price comes down to here, I'm automatically taking out of the position and I lose $5. But then let's say I was in the same position size, but then I didn't place a stop loss. Price go down here and I could lose $100, which would obviously be quite bad considering I only wanted to risk 5. And this is my take profit. So this is essentially, let's say I had it up here. What I'm basically saying with this take profit is if price reaches this level, I am automatically exiting position. And so basically, let's say I'm entering, this is a $5 risk, and this is a 1.8 risk to reward ratio, meaning that this trade would win $9 profit. Obviously 1.8 times 5. If I reach this level, and that means I'm automatically exiting. And what a take profit is, and what a stop loss is. So let's say this is a buy position. What these levels essentially are sell positions of the same volume. And so I'm not buying and then getting rid of the position. I'm buying the forex here buying the currency per here, then I'm selling it here, or I'm selling it here. And so obviously you would want to sell above where you bought, because then this gap, this margin is your profit. And so a good rule of thumb is if I'm buying something, my stop loss should be somewhere where I would sell. So for instance, let's call, where is my rectangle? So let's say here, right? This is an order block. So let's say I wanted to hit equilibrium on the order block, so 50% into the order block, which is this line. I would want, that'd be a good take profit, because that's where I think price could reverse and go down. Okay, so next we have got brush. No, we have sell position, but sell position is the exact same. But this is now my stop loss, and this is my take profit. It's the same thing. So now we have price ranges. So if I was to hold shift and without drawing anything, I was hold shift and then click. As you can see, I'm now measuring. So you can see the timeline across. Obviously, I have an advert right now, but if I go to that, you can see I've measured from Friday the 8th of March to Tuesday the 11th of June. And I have measured minus 548 pips from top to bottom. Here's 67 bars, 95 days, and that is how you measure out. Let's say I wanted to measure how long this fair value gap was. I can see there. Oh no, hang on, I'm not. It's not working because it's locking on. Okay, it's locking on. Doesn't matter. Right. Then we have rectangle, which I've just showed. So you draw out a rectangle, and then so you can edit it in any way you like. You can move it around. For all text and lines, something like that, if you click on settings, you can see here, if I wrote high, I can change the text color, I can change the size of the text, I can bold, italic, I can edit where it goes. You can see if I put top left, you can see it there. Then I put it bottom left, you can see it down there. If I put it in the middle, you can see it. You can't see it, it's there. And that goes for all. Obviously, if you want to just write a general message, you can add text. Nice and easy, again, exact same editing. Everything's very self-explanatory. Then the final things you have to go over. The magnet tool. The magnet tool is really useful, and I recommend you have it at all time. You can see here, magnet mode snaps drawings placed near price bars to the closest OHLC value. So OHLC is what we have up here, remember? Open, high, low, close. And so let's see with my trend line, let's zoom in. So you see I'm up here. We get snapped down there because that's my high. Then I'm snapped down here, and then I'm snapped down here. So I wanted to draw a line from here to here. Super easy, and it locks on because you shouldn't ever be drawing random prices like that above your charts. Everything will always be related to the candles, whether it be the recent candles or the candles that from a year ago. Every drawing you should do should have a relation to the candlesticks. So having the magnet tool is very useful, and there's no reason to not have it. And finally, we have drawing mode off. So drawing mode lock. Sorry. So let's say I'm drawing here. I draw there, then I draw there, and I don't have to keep constantly clicking the draw button. I'm not defaulted back to the mouse. So let's wipe that off. And then we'll have the bin, which removes drawings or indicators. We have the eye. So let's say I had a line here. I can now hide indicators if I had any on. I could hide positions and orders, hide drawings, and see that's gone. Then I click it off, and it's back. So that's if you want to show your charts without showing specific things, you can do that really easily. And locked is just you can't edit anything. Yeah, and that is the full thing of TradingView.